Love me or hate me, this is the Brian Fritz of Network 126. It is September 14th, 2020, and I'm kind of surprised that I didn't catch this one sooner, or one of my viewers, subscribers, someone out there, I'm surprised none of you guys caught this earlier. Come on, guys. No, I'm just kidding. So this is from Pew. I guess that's how you pronounce that. Pew Research Center. They're like the top dog, in research, I guess, pretty much. Anyway, check this out, guys. Check this out. A majority of young adults in the U.S. live with their parents for the first time since the Great Depression. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard that right. Check this out. The coronavirus outbreak has pushed millions of Americans, especially young adults, to move in with family members. The share of 18 to 29-year-olds living with their parents has become a majority since the U.S. coronavirus cases began spreading early this year, surpassing the previous peak during the Great Depression era. Are you guys still with me? Let me repeat that. The share of 18 to 29-year-olds living with their parents has become a majority since U.S. coronavirus cases began spreading early this year, surpassing the previous peak during the Great Depression era. You heard that right. We have now officially surpassed the Great Depression era of the 1930s, at least in this regard, with having young people living with their parents. In July, 52%, guys, of young adults resided with one or both of their parents, up from 47% in February, according to a new Pew Research Center analysis of monthly Census Bureau data. The number living with parents grew to 26.6 million, an increase of 2.6 million from February. I mean, this is crazy, guys. The number and share of young adults living with their parents grew across the board for all major racial and ethnic groups, men and women, and metropolitan and rural residents as well, as in all four main census regions. Growth was sharpest for the youngest adults, ages 18 to 24, and for white young adults. I mean, guys, I got nobody in the live chat right now, so anyway, this is just, I don't even have the words for this shit. This is insane. Luckily I'm not living, like that anymore, but shit. I would probably be, a lot of people would be better off, saving a lot of money right now, but I mean, hey, but I'm trying to work some things out and whatnot. I don't know what's going to happen right now, but things have just been really, really just downright scary and uncertain. And, like I've been saying in previous videos, the world right now is a very scary place. I mean, it was bad before COVID. At least most people were still able to get a job, I guess, because I was able to get a job pretty easily at Amazon. That was right before all this COVID madness. And uh, now the way things are going, I mean, we've gotten like over 1 million people pretty much consistently every week filing for unemployment for the past 25 weeks in a row. Every once in a while it dips down to like 800 something thousand or 900 some thousand, but still it's fuck. And it's like, and it's funny because every time it comes out below 1 million, it's good news. Even though every day is like breaking a record compared to like that last great big recession that we had like in the 80s or something. It was like 600 something thousand. And we're like breaking that every day or every week rather for like 25 weeks in a row. We're talking about, potentially, 40 million people facing evictions and foreclosures. 40 million. Can you just imagine that many homeless people, that many more homeless people? I mean, there's already been a shit ton. And you want to talk about adding 40 million more to that? What? Anyway, I'm just doing this video to shed some light on the insanity and just the depth of shit that we're in. The shit is really hitting the fan at this point. Check this out. Here's a Reddit thread. 52% of young adults in the U.S. are living with their parents, the highest share since the Great Depression. And this is a link to a CNN post, but pretty much saying the same thing that I just went over, but mine was directly from the Pew Research Center. But anyway, so there was a discussion here on Reddit, and I'm just going to go through a few of these, just, to conclude and wrap this up and to make my point. Someone's saying, wonder what the amount of adults 29 plus that had to move a home. I'm sure it's a lot. Someone over here says, I'm one of them. My husband and I moved in with my mom when I was 30. Lived with her for 2 years, had a kid while living there. It was hell on earth. I would have anxiety driving home from work because she would start fights every day about something stupid. We didn't cook there because she would start fights about it smelling or the dishes weren't washed while we were eating the food we just cooked. We wouldn't wash clothes there because she would complain about that too. She was racist on top of all the other bullshit, and my husband is a different race. She would accuse my husband of beating our son when my son would cry. We moved out before everything shut down and are struggling, but I'd rather struggle and live on our own than ever go back there. And someone over here saying, hey, that's me, 32 years old here, military veteran with over 10 years experience and education in several fields of IT. When I'd gotten in trouble with the law right before COVID, had to move back with my family, couldn't afford a place to live, and still some outrageous student loans and credit card debt on the books. They've been very generous with me, and I'll owe them everything until the end of time, but I'm very much missing my independence in several respects. Someone else here says, I'm 28 years old and haven't lived with my mom in a decade. I got laid off in May and haven't been able to find work since then. My roommate of 3 years and best friend had to move out because he is constantly exposed to the virus being a bartender. My girlfriend moved in with me shortly after because she got laid off and couldn't afford to live on her own. She and I will be moving in with my mom at the end of this month because it's just too much to ask right now with no income. I have savings, but I'm running through it incredibly fast with everything adding up. My mom is happy, though, because she hasn't seen people in months, and the loneliness is driving her insane, so I'm happy we can be some comfort to her. This past year has been fucking insane. I mean, it's just being reflected so many times, repeated. There's so many stories that are just pretty much the same kind of thing. Someone over here saying, I joined the Army at 19, spent 10 years in, went to the OCS, deployed, did all the hero stuff, blah, blah. Force reduction hit me. I was supposed to be up for captain's review and instead got a letter saying my services are no longer needed and my last day in the Army is the end of next month. There was no celebration, no awards. I got a certified honorable discharge and was asked if I wanted to resign my commission. I didn't save for retirement as I am going to put 20 years in put 20 years in a continue. I don't know what that means. That was the retirement. Trying to live on my own, burn through my savings, even living very Spartan. Turns out no one was really looking for a person with my skill set. Best around was selling cell phones at a few malls that were still open. I had to move back in with my mother as well. Luckily, she is a narcissist, so this was an opportunity for her to be showered with praise from her Facebook friends for taking care of her veteran son. She provided me a room, which was all I needed. It took me a long time to dig out of that hole, and there's a lot of resentment left over. You're going to have to do it. You're doing what you have to do to survive. I read that wrong. I've been up all night and helping your girlfriend in the process. I hope this brings you two closer. And when/if you have kids, you remember this when they are in a bad spot. I'll read maybe a couple more, and then I'll pretty much wrap this up, and then I need to get some sleep. But this is, I was up editing a video. The reason why I want to do this live stream first, because if I'm uploading it now, then I wouldn't be able to do this live stream now. So I figure I'd do the live stream first, then put the video to upload while I fall asleep, and then you guys can watch that. So anyway, going to read through a couple more here. The one silver lining is many more. See, I can't even do it. Let me make it a little bigger here. The trolls are going to make fun of me now. The one silver lining is more family time for you and your mom. Just be careful on the savings part. I dealt with that with the same thing back in 2008. Burned through most of my savings from then till 2010. Towards the end, I got a good job again, but I was never able to replenish my money coffers. Sucks looking back on it because I could have done so much with that money. Shit. Someone else here saying, hey man, just a little advice for your roommate and the best friend. Probably too late, but if you take precautions, even with your roommates being exposed, you can be safe. I have a few roommates, but we all work in healthcare. We get exposed by people daily with COVID-19, but we use PPE, social distance, and are not complete idiots in public. None of us have had the virus yet. If you trust them to be smart, you can really help yourself with that situation. What's up, IRC Bully? IRC Bully lives in the Midwest with a 3,000 square foot house that's paid for. Moved to the Midwest. Huh. Wait, are you inviting me to come live in that 3,000 square foot house? Or am I reading that wrong? Or because I'm reading everything wrong now, because I'm pretty sleep deprived at this point. Tony Smith is saying G4T was predicting all of this back in 2011. The country is collapsing, businesses closing down, malls are ghost towns, young adults living with parents. Yeah, I mean, I can't say he was wrong about that. What a world we're living in, guys. What a world. What a world. Look at this shit. Currently on Reddit, to put off packing boxes to move home to my mother's. I'm 28 and I've lived on my own, happily and by choice, since 18. This is the last place I thought I'd find myself. Damn, 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 damn. And it just goes on and on and on. Here's another one. I moved back to my parents out of economic necessity about 13 months ago. I was 27 at the time. I was expecting to have I was expecting to have to do it, but I was expecting it to only be like for 2 or 3 months at most. Well, I'm still here because I literally can't afford to leave. No end in sight either. That's pretty much how I felt back when I was living in my dad's kitchen. I don't even know how I got this room, honestly. It was just a lucky string of events, I guess. And people looking out for me and helping me and whatnot. Really. Because I thought I was never going to get out of that living in the kitchen trap. I really wasn't. I really didn't think I was going to get out of that. Someone else says, no shame in it, my dude. A ton of us are living with our parents right now. Seems to be the norm for people my age. Literally everyone I met when I was dating was doing it. Oh, man. Someone else who lost their mother here, apparently. Hi, my mom passed away this last year. And at 26 in this economy, I would give anything to have what you have. Enjoy it while you can. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, that's pretty much my story. I was like 26 also when I lost my mom. Yeah, Tony Smith is saying that restaurant still owes you thousands, as well as the Fox TV network. Well, actually, no. Well, first of all, it wasn't the Fox TV network. I forget the name of the production company. Yeah, I couldn't tell you guys. I honestly don't remember. But it was a third-party production company that produces TV series that they then pitch to TV networks. And so Fox was the one that was airing it. But they paid me. If I recall correctly, it was a week of filming, like 5 or 6 days, something like that. And they paid us $350, which is like the only paycheck that I was ever able to actually cash in the entire time that I worked at that restaurant. Isn't that sad? Like I said, what a world. What a world we're living in. Someone else here saying, honestly, if I had the ability to do so, living half a country away, I would probably be moving back in with my parents too. I don't have that option, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, and it's very common in other cultures. You're doing what you have to do right now to have success in the future. Sending love from Texas. Wow, look at this. I once lived in a basement owned by some slumlord in New York City for $13.50 a month. Wow, that's how my dad used to pay for that old apartment that I lived in the kitchen. You're paying that for a basement in an apartment with 3 other dudes? What? Looking back, parents' basement wouldn't have been so bad. Yeah, no shit. 3 other dudes? Damn. In a basement? That's not creepy or weird at all. Damn. IRC bully lives cheap. I live in a stranger's basement and it works just fine. I just hope they don't find out. Oh shit. Oh, that was probably a joke. Wow. Oh, and these days you never know, actually. Oh man. Someone else here saying, when I turned 18, my ultra-conservative parents literally kicked me out, and I had to live in my car 3 months before I could afford the shittiest apartment. They also refused to sign any of my college financial aid forms because the government didn't need their information because I was an adult. So I had to put off college until I was 25 and didn't need their information for subsidized loans. Thanks, GOP, for brainwashing your cult members into a disconnect with reality. RC bullies over here laughing at the 3 other dudes thing. Yeah, really. I mean, fuck. Let me get some water. I'll do a few more of these. Someone's saying, please don't take living with your parents for granted. Not everyone has loving and caring parents. Ain't that the damn truth? There's a lot of people out there who are just really fucked right now. Someone says, true. I'm especially concerned about foster kids who age out of the system and have no family to lean on. Well, a lot of those become homeless, unfortunately, and then they end up turning to drugs. That's the sad and unfortunate truth in this sad, broken, miserable society. Someone says this: it is incredibly hard to not have family to turn to, or have good family to turn to. Many have to move back home into abusive living situations just to have shelter. This pandemic is causing far more hardships than we may realize. My heart goes out to those in such situations. Damn. Someone says, my mom died when I was in college. My in-laws use all her free money to make my sister-in-law comfortable, even though she messed up herself by falling out of community college and having kids she couldn't afford on purpose. So I've always been jealous of the adult children that can get thousands of dollars from parents for emergencies. They party with their own money. Mom and dad covered emergencies and health care. Meanwhile, wife and I did our best to be painfully frugal and to survive. We were the best workers at our jobs, but I made an honest $5K mistake and got fired last month by new management that oddly had it out for me. We are now paycheck to paycheck, my 5+ years experience in my line of work meaning nothing to all the places I have since applied to. I thought we're going to be able to buy a shit house in a half shit neighborhood by age 40 if we keep pushing. Having this thought in January, now I don't know if we will survive. Fuck. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Isn't that sad? Oh, but some people try to tell me in the comments, oh, it's not just... someone literally tried to tell me, it's Brian, it's not really that... Or I forget how it was worded. Like, it's not really that bad, Brian. Like, trying to be all condescending to me. Brian, it's really not that bad. Like... it's time you admit your problems. I'm just paraphrasing all this rest of it, but that's like the tone of it. Like, it's time you admit your problems, Brian. Everyone else is doing just fine and living like kings and making living wages, and you're the only one having problems. Brian, it's time for an intervention, Brian. You're the only one. Brian. It's like these stupid trolls. I don't know what they're trying to do to me with these stupid mind games. I swear. But it's not working. I mean, I literally, like in video after video after video after video, I'm just pulling up all this evidence to the contrary. But y'all just want to insist that it's just me, and I'm the only one who's been struggling. Bullshit. I'll read through a few more of these. Maybe I'll push this to the 30-minute mark. We're going on 24 minutes now. Tony Smith says, is the pandemic being used by big business, Walmart, Amazon, to help shut down small business? The malls are ghost towns. I don't know. It's an interesting theory. There's all kinds of conspiracy theories going around because of this pandemic. It's just insane. This shit is nuts. Coin Collector 1776 says pandemic is to have bigger corporations. Well, there does definitely seem to be a large consolidation of wealth. It's all trickling up like this to the very top. So, I don't know. I wouldn't put that past anything. Ryan K. is saying they're saying that millennials were the next generation to make the housing boom, LMAO. Oh my goodness, Ryan K. RC Bully saying, I would, Tony, LOL. Oh, talking about, yeah. Anyway, so gonna go through a few of these. This is this saying that some people like to start their paragraphs with the word this. I'm fortunate to be able to live on my own still. but I will literally be homeless and live under a bridge before I go home to my parents. Oh, man. Someone says if you're queer and you were / almost homeless, clap your hands. Oh, wow. That's sad. Exactly. Children can attest living at home can be psychologically damaging. Yeah, it certainly was for me, on a serious note, with my mom. I don't want to get into all that right now. That's a whole other story, and she's not even alive anymore, so... Moving on. Let's see. Let's try to find a good one here. I haven't even seen these yet. I didn't even screen all these before I decided to use this for this live stream, so... There's just like a box of chocolates. I don't know what I'm going to get here. Forrest Gump. If you can't wear a mask, I ain't got no respect for you. Shut up, Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump ass. Yes, Deep Verma, 52%. That is a lot. That is literally the majority of young people in this country are living with their parents. That's the point I was making earlier, and I'm continuing to make, reading these Reddit thread comments. Anyway, moving on here. Someone's saying here, I feel like I've watched this go on from the classic mark of being a total fucking loser to completely ordinary in real time during my own earlier adulthood. I had an older boyfriend when I was 18 to 21 in the early 2000s, and I remember telling myself, holy shit, if he is still living with his parents at 24, I am going to lose it. He has to move out. This is embarrassing and concerning. Now, it's like, no shit. That's what you're doing at 24. Hell, that's what a lot of people are doing at 34. The world is hell, and if that provides modicum of stability, go for it. Wow. Did you guys appreciate that shift in contrast there in attitude about that? Like, oh my God, like, if my boyfriend is still living with his parents at 24, I'm going to lose it. Oh my God, that's like very crazy and concerning and just not normal. And then now she's like, like everyone's living with their parents, 24, 34. It's the norm. Shit. So, someone says, 31 here. Me, my wife, and my 2 kids live with my parents. So does my 23-year-old sister and my 76-year-old grandma. It's a bit crowded, but holy fuck is Denver's rent stupid? We still pay my parents' rent, but much less than if we were on our own. My wife and I are finishing up college while we're living more cheaply than we'll be moving into our own place once we have down payments saved and careers underway. Well, yeah, good luck to that. Honestly, good luck to you, because I don't want to say any more. Someone says, I got called a loser for living with my parents last year by someone whose parents gifted them a $2 million house at 18. Wow, the irony. The irony. Someone else adding in, we're seeing a return to the multi-generation family and an end to the nuclear family. Only the wealthiest will be able to afford the luxury of a nuclear family and the cost associated with it. It truly is a luxury, and was never the norm until the mid-20th century. The mid-20th to the end of the 20th century are going to go down as one of the most abnormal times in human history, powered by massive innovation in government, finances, technology, and central banking. But all the low-hanging fruit got gobbled up, and so we shouldn't expect to see the same again, at least in America this century. It's not that we couldn't, It's that we have allowed too many people to entrench and shield themselves from substantive change. There's no reason that the U.S. couldn't move off fossil fuels and bring about the fourth revolution power. Instead, it is likely that China will get there ahead of the U.S. and the EU, securing their prosperity for a few generations. Interesting point there. Someone else says, what's interesting to me has been the dating scene around it and how the stigma still sticks to some extent. My buddy recently moved out from living with his mother, and he went from super unsuccessful on dates to instantly having no issues. Basically, the moment they learned he lived with his mom, it was over, even when they also lived with their parents. Super weird. Man, what a world, what a world. Someone else here says, I'm a first generation of immigrant parents. I never understood the American notion that you have to move out of your parents' place and that if you don't, you're some sort of loser. Why waste that money on rent, sending it down the toilet when it can be saved, invested, etc.? In our culture, the parents take care of you until you're an adult. You move out to go to work, to go where the work is. Eventually, if/when you get married or start a family and parents are at retirement age, then you move to your place so that you can provide some degree of care to them in the same manner they did for us. Obviously, this doesn't apply to quite a few cases, especially to horrible parents, which exist everywhere. Man. Someone is saying, I feel this so much. I moved out right before I turned 21. My then boyfriend was 24, and I tried pushing so hard for him to move out of his parents' basement because it was so embarrassing in my mind. Life happened at 23 that had me moving back in with my mom, and I'm still here at 26 now. Worst part is both my parents still in the mindset that I'm a fuck up from needing to live with my mom. Oh, God. I feel for that. Oh, man. There's some real talk over here. Someone saying something is wrong when you can have a full-time job but still can't afford your own place. Yeah, no fucking shit. No fucking shit. Ryan K says, I see a lot of driveways with many cars parked on them. Lots of people living together. I've been seeing a lot of that too. Yeah, there's a lot of that. People renting out every nook and cranny on their property. Living rooms, garages, you name it. And yeah, if those people have cars, there's going to be a lot of cars at that one address. There's a lot of that going on. What subreddit is that? Coin Collector 1776 is asking me. You know what? I'll just go ahead and give you a direct link. How about that? One second. I was going to give you, like, read out the title for you to look it up, but I figured I can just post the link directly. So you can go ahead and check that out. But it's directly related with that. Oh, shit. I hate when it does that, when you click off to the side there. Oh, now I just lost it. Oh, here we go. It just came back. I don't see anything wrong with living with your parents past 18. I'm 21 and getting my bachelor's degree. I'm a full-time student. My parents don't want me to take out loans or have bad credit. When I get my job teaching and save up money, I'll move in with my boyfriend when he also moves out of his mom's in a couple years too. I don't see why there's such a huge stigma. I see it as being able to get on your feet easily and focus primarily on school without having much financial stress of having a job, going to school, paying all the bills, etc. I'm so happy my parents let me stay with them even though I'm an adult. I'm so grateful, and I wish there wasn't such a stigma against it. But the sad thing is that so many people, have to go to such lengths just to become independent. Back in the boomers generation, you graduate high school, you don't even have to go to college. You just go and get some job in some factory or something like the Amazon equivalent back in the day, even a part-time thing, and you've got enough, to start saving for a down payment on a house. Forget struggling renting a room or living in your parents' kitchen. Fuck all that. You're already putting a down payment together to own your own house and raise a family and live the good life. But not our generation, not the millennials, not the Gen Xers. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. It just absolutely fucking insane. So I'll read a couple more of these. What's up, toxic trolla of the rock and rolla? Replying with anecdotes, says this other person. I have 2 daughters. The youngest is 20, moved away to go to college a little over a year ago. Smart kid, worked 2 jobs to save the money for the move, and got a part-time job on the side 3 days after getting to the big city. Windy path, though. She worked too much one week covering for an ill coworker, which led to her scholarship in FAFSA being canceled. She dropped out of college. I quit work myself, thinking that maybe it was my income that was the problem. Of course, there were multiple reasons. A year later, she got reinstated somewhat, and hopefully is on the road back to the medical degree she has had in her heart since she was 8 years old. COVID had a big impact on her employment, but one way or another, she's been making her way and paying her way. Still lives right near her campus, no signs of bailing out and heading back home. My older daughter has had a rougher life. Survived a serious assault, never really decided on a career, then dropped out of college after a bad injury that put her in crutches for almost a year. She moved to Texas to join a good friend where they mostly struggled to get by. Finally, we organized something. We organized something of a rescue. They both moved back to my house. My daughter's friend transferring to their job to this locale, and they rent very cheaply the house she grew up in, which has mostly been okay, though not any kind of long-term solution. So one way or another, I'm pretty much an example of that 52%. One's back at home, one's not. In neither case has anything been remotely easy or something any non-drugged up individual would sing about, like beautiful spacious skies and amber waves of grain kind of shit. There are no fucking handouts here, and talking about kids like they're taking advantage and just sliding by is some vile stupidity, in my humble opinion. Wow. Wow. Damn. Someone saying, move to Texas. You can get a nice studio apartment for about $590 a month. Yeah, I don't have any money to move, and I'm only paying $350 here. I'd rather keep the security of the $350. I mean, shit, I really don't have the money to move. People have been trying to tell me to move for like the past decade. I've never had the money to move, and it doesn't look like I'm going to have any money to move anytime soon. So, yeah. Anyway, wow, that was a great comment on this Reddit thread. Because a living wage is not obtainable, says another person here. This one says, the cost of living is insane. 2 people with full-time minimum wage jobs can't support a family of 4. Hell, I think they're still in poverty level. Cost of vehicles, phone bill, insurance, rent, food, household goods. This is before any kind of entertainment costs. I was making $55K before COVID, and I wasn't doing well. Now I'm unemployed. The wife is unemployed, and this country is quickly going the wrong way. Even if we get 2 full-time minimum wage jobs, it would cost us more than we would end up making in childcare and transportation costs alone. Class warfare is very real. I can barely make ends meet, while the executives of the company I work for have 10 houses and pull in 8 figures. What they want you all focused on is racial injustices, but there are plenty of white people in poverty with the rest of us. Raise up against the rich, not the law. The rich are the ones suppressing the poor. Well, but the rich also make the laws. Because they're so rich and powerful, they weasel their way into positions of power and they create, or at least influence, laws. So I think we should rise up against the law as well. Rise up against the law and the rich. Eat the rich. Hashtag eat the rich. Spread that. Oh my goodness. I didn't think this live stream was going to go on this long. Empty nester here. We child-proofed our home, but they keep getting in. It's not their fault, of course. They deserve better. In the meantime, we're all doing the best we can to keep out of one another's way. Oh, man. I hated that. Back when I was living in my dad's kitchen. Someone else here saying, hey, I'm one of them. I should go and find a girlfriend so I can move out since it's almost impossible to do on your own. Yeah, no shit. No shit. Someone else replied here saying, LOL, I've thought the same thing, but I don't want to subject the woman to that torture. Oh, God. Someone else here saying, I'm torn about this. While it's not the norm, well, it is now, for young Americans to live with their parents, it is common in most other parts of the world. The nuclear family is strong outside of the U.S., plus it saves you a ton of money. I feel like capitalism wants young Americans to be out on their own sooner so they spend more money as opposed to saving up. So let me see. Let's try to find some more good ones before I wrap this up. We're going on close to 44 minutes now. 52% of young adults are saving a shit ton of money in a country that thrives on putting them in massive debt as fast as possible for the rest of their lives and not giving a fuck about them. You can't default on your student loans, so even if you declare bankruptcy because of massive hospital bills or something else, the loan companies will still be there, waiting, smiling, knowing every penny you work for will go to them. Fuck this country. I totally agree with you. Fuck this country, yeah. I mean, the way it's going, I mean, fuck. I mean, 52% of young people in this country, this great, richest country, greatest economy ever. Yeah, right. Not anymore. Not anymore, dude. Get out of here with that bullshit. Cold Heart Truth News, this is in my live chat, saying homeless camps are popping up all over New York City. Damn. Damn. Yeah, exactly. Cold Hard Truth News saying, how the hell can you spend money when the cost of living far outweighs income? Exactly. So many people fail to get that. But I feel that's mostly the trolls. And just the few rich people living in bubbles still. Fixed title. Oh, look at this. Fixed title. 52% of young adults do not make a living wage. forced to live with parents or roommates just to make ends meet. I agree with that as well. That that was great. Thank you. Exactly. Yes. 52% of young adults do not make a living wage, forced to live with parents or roommates just to make ends meet. Very well put. Thank you. I really like this Reddit thread. There's 3,858 more replies in this. But I think you guys get the idea. I mean, I can't be sitting here all morning here reading thousands of comments, but you guys get the picture. Look at this. I'm 34 and reading this physically pains me. If someone out there needs help finding a job in banking, please DM me. I work at JP Morgan Chase. No promises, obviously, just want to do my part. Wow. Yeah, well, not everyone. I mean, for those of you guys who are into that stuff, I mean, I could never see myself in finance. Shit, I can't even manage my own fucking finance. Well, that's not really so much my fault. That's not really so much a lacking of management. That's just a lacking of income and just cost of living being too damn high. That's really what it's about. Someone says, it's almost like the cost of education, which is required to support yourself in a white-collar economy, is too expensive. Who would have ever thought? Someone else here saying, I'm 30 with a major in business and scared shitless. I think I might try to extend software development. My area has been hit hard by COVID. Good thing I don't have student loans. Does anyone else have like everything is doomed feeling, or just me? You're just asking if anyone else has the feeling of being doomed? That we're doomed? Oh my goodness. What was the reply on this? That's really nice of you. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Agreed. People may have been able to accomplish that a few decades back, but nowadays the only way to successfully live on your own from being 18 is if you're already financially secure, joined the military, couch surfed, or lived in your car. Yeah, no shit. Billion-dollar corporations fail to pay living wages to young adults, forcing them to live with their parents. There, fixed it. I like that one too. Billion-dollar corporations fail to pay living wages to young adults, forcing them to live with their parents. That's great. I strongly agree with that. Oh my goodness. Let me see, trying to find the best ones here, just kind of skimming through. I mean, like I said, there's like 3,800 comments. I'm ashamed to admit this, but that the hell. What? I'm ashamed to admit this, but that the hell. I live in one of those tiny homes, aka Amish-built shed thing. I put insulation, wiring, lighting, and walls in it myself since they come bare with just walls and windows. Oh, sounds like the shed I was living in. And I'm happy as hell with it. It's only 12 by 20, but that's plenty for me since I live alone. Oh, that's actually bigger than mine. I have a full steel entry door on the front for security. You can customize these to have anything you want. I only pay $212 a month for it until it's paid off. Mine is $5,400 total. It's literally all I could afford as far as housing goes. I don't have to get a mortgage, and they never did a credit check. Wow. Yeah, but what about the land? Someone says, I wager most millennials and Gen Z folks will be living in similar buildings if things keep going the way they are. Or just keep going like they are. Just look at the tiny house movement. Edit. One of my students built a home exactly like this. It was all he could afford. He was able to live comfortably as a result. The next one says, don't be ashamed of this. This is smart, and I've actually considered doing the same thing. Damn. What a world we live in, guys. I can't say that enough. We happen to be in another depression, regardless of what term they use for it. The last one, they called it a recession as well. You don't get that many newly homeless people from a recession, though. The next one says, we never recovered from the 2008 recession, actually. Regarding the depression caused by the pandemic, we've barely even begun. Yeah. Scary times are ahead of us, guys. Scary times. What's up, Goon? Goon V. I don't know how to say your name. The only people with money to burn are people in the military, rich people that inherit their wealth / capital, and boomers with 10 pensions. Ain't that the truth, Goon? Ain't that the truth? Cost of living is insane. My cousin just got married. They're both in the mid-20s. She's a CNA. He works construction as a farmer. A one-bedroom apartment is $1,700 per month. Add in car payments, insurance, and all the bills, it's easily over $5,000 per month. How could young single adults afford this sort of lifestyle? Exactly. This is insane. Sounds like California to me, someone says. Yep, these are my bills in Southern California. Mind you, I do not have any debt and live modestly. Damn, how sad. And they probably can't afford to move either because they're busy paying $5,000 a month every month. Damn. It's the trap. It's the California trap. Man. They got money for wars, but they can't feed the poor. Ain't that the truth? Cold hard truth news. Ain't that the truth? This looks like a good one. Blame the banks and the shitty politicians that allow banks to run rampant. Your entire life, America is on borrowed money from 18. Need a good job? Then you need a degree. Here, borrow $50,000 at age 18 for it. Oh shit, don't have a car to get to the job? Well, borrow another $20,000. Oh wait, $20,000 gives you a shitty entry-level car? Well, borrow money from a car that has been traded in so the banks can sell it again, and the banks can, again, gain all the interest 2 to 3 times as the same car is sold and resold while you lose all the principal. Like to have a house? Again, borrow away. When you're done paying for it all after 30 years, it will probably be sold so the banks can have another person to borrow more money to again pay for the same house you just finished paying off and grab another sucker on the hamster wheel of debt. Damn. Damn. Wow. Wow. That was good. That was better than good. That was great. Damn. So many good comments on this thread. Jeez. This is nuts. I live with my parents because neither they or I can afford to live independently. I know somebody like that, actually. Together, we have enough money to pay for food, mortgage, electric, water, internet, and cell phones and car upkeep. Then a little left over so we aren't constantly sweating about funds. It's a pleasant, symbiotic relationship, and we all get along. Wow. Yeah, that reminds me of the situation that the person I know who's in. I mean, if it works, but I mean, I know that, this person isn't exactly always happy. They wish to add more privacy, especially when they're like dating and stuff. Anyway. Man, what a world we live in. Young adult, I'm 32, and I'm living with my parents because of the economy. It's not like before 50 years ago where a single person can afford a house and fully pay it within their lifetime. Ain't that the truth? I'm 32. So, damn, what a world. What a world. College boy here, and shout out to my parents for letting me stay with them through my associate's degree. It took me 2 years of it took me 2 school years and an extra quarter to finish. Took a year break to save up money, and this fall I'll be starting my dream school, University of Washington, and I'm super thankful I've been able to live with my mom and dad still. Fuck what your friends say/do and go to community college, stay at home if possible, get a part-timer, go to college, save up, mind your business, strive for happiness, and do your best. Wow. This is nuts. I'm 30. When I was 25, I had no money and couldn't afford rent. I was forced to move back in with my parents. They were totally okay with it, and I'm so thankful for that. As it turned out, it was an extraordinarily positive phase for my life. I was able to start a business, which is now one of the largest of its kind in the world. I now live in a multi-million-dollar penthouse in Denver that I bought myself. Don't be afraid to go back home. It could allow you to focus on yourself and rekindle a relationship with your parents. This could be an amazing moment for you. Wow. Wow. I wish more people were going through things like that instead, but you're obviously in the minority there. Damn. All the more power to you, though. Damn, going on 58 minutes. I'm going to have to wrap this up on the hour mark. Yeah, I'm getting kind of tired of doing this, but I'm at the same time I'm getting really carried away with reading these because at the same time these comments are so good. Like, seriously, these are... Look at this. And of the remaining 48%, I bet at least half are in situations where living with their parents isn't feasible. I'd rather spend 70% of my income on rent and be completely broke after paying my bills than live with my narcissistic mother and end up having a nervous breakdown. To that 52%, I'd say count yourselves lucky. Damn. Someone else says, a lot of my friends had to do this after getting laid off. The rest of my friends with useful college degrees, not a bachelor's in English or art or skilled labor experience, are doing just fine. Well, good for them. But not everyone else is doing good. So, like I said, 52%. 52% living at home. That's more than that's literally the majority. Fuck. I don't know how else to put that. Oh my god. Anyway, guys, we're going on an hour here. I've got another great video for you guys coming out. Spoiler alert, it's about a food bank. So many starving Americans are just flooding the food banks. It's insane. So, with all that being said, the comments here. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. With all that being said and done, this is the Brian Fritz of Network 126. Stay tuned.